Be Frank Network. Welcome to a very special Happy Never After podcast episode. We're doing a little catch up with my bestest clients, my favorite clients. They're my gassiest clients.
I have to belch.
Just away from the microphone.
Now I wonder why she's with him.
What financial reasons?
But not
first
on
of
camera.
all, second of all, I'm very nice, and third of all, you can walk all over me with reckless abandon. It doesn't seem to affect my masculinity.
Well, is there any masculinity?
That's just three reasons. No, I said goodbye to my masculinity.
God forbid you let Mara host her show.
Child.
God forbid.
When I was raised by a house of Italian women, I waved goodbye to my masculinity.
Do you have any
like
other
a little
stories,
girl
Anthony? No, I'm just kidding.
Waves to her dad who's going off to war in Afghanistan.
Welcome to the Rad Dude podcast. Oh, wait.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, welcome back, Julia Solomon and Anthony Devito. Hi, guys.
Hello, Mara. Thank you for having us.
I miss working out with you guys.
Mara.
I miss working out with you. We did like a 20-minute cardio yesterday, and I was like, this is nothing compared to what Mara made me do. And I can't believe I even did what Mara would tell me to do. Because I watched your workout videos on your Instagram, and I'm like, I can't believe she made me attempt to do this.
It does seem mean.
My version of doing this.
It seems unjust. You know, like you call yourself our friend, Mara, but then what here's
no
the thing.
Mercy.
I've never said I was your friend. I've never
remember,
said.
This is not just your podcast, Anthony.
I'm not saying it's just my mind. I've got something to say here, Julia.
Not only are you speaking a lot, you're physically taking up. You see he's moving in front of me almost?
I am gesticulating quite a bit. I'm confined to this tiny corner on Zoom.
Shine.
I'm letting you shine. I'm just saying.
I have to say something. I didn't see you guys post a lot on the old Instagram, and I know that I also wasn't posting a lot, but it made me worried that you two were not together anymore.
Oh, if we're not together, I'll be posting insane things nonstop that you would be like, oh, something happened. Me not posting is like, she's in a really good place.
Oh, okay, good. Okay. I was like, what's happening? I don't want to ask because I don't want anything bad to happen ever.
No, he's always posting his stories for his podcast and stuff, and I'll repost stories, but then it's just like, what am I taking photos of? Like,
you can't handle it. You can't handle the truth. If Julia left me, you would know because my Instagram stories, it mainly be fuzzy pictures of my feet.
And if Anthony left me, you'd know from the news.
I don't really know how to work it.
He'd be dead. Like, murder him. I'm just kidding. I would make it look like a natural cause.
Yeah. So it's something that bubbles. It's a fear of mine that bubbles up every day. Julia is the solution to my anxiety, but the cause, because I do worry about her murdering me quite often. But without her, my glasses would be foggy.
It's a haircut.
I don't know. I think it's a good length.
Okay, but
I cut my boyfriend's hair the other day, and I was like, hold still. And then I did a lot of like laughing, like I messed up. But
I got one chance to do a haircut on him, and it wasn't good, and I didn't give it my all. And we just needed to get some length off. Like it was not even, and like his hair was dreading up. That I just had to,
Okay.
2 times during quarantine, she had to cut matted dreadlocks out of my head because I hadn't showered in so long that had happened. Then she gave me an at-home haircut, and I looked exactly like Dudley Moore. And I will post a picture to the Happy Never After Instagram so people have.
What?
She's like, I'm saying something. She's trying to say something because she's the host, and you're launching into it like we're on a talk show, and we're not.
I cannot believe that you're still together after you haven't showered for days and days and had dreadlocks. How do you put up with that?
Both of us. I wasn't showering.
You weren't showering either? Oh, my God.
It became one of those things where you're like, is it 4 days? Is it 5 days? Is 5 days too long?
Without showering at all? Without bathing yourself?
I guess both. Well, I love a good soak.
Oh, my God.
I love a good soak.
Do you have a tub there?
Yes. Oh, my God. There is literally like a clawfoot tub here. One of the pipes is leaking a bit, so I can't really like luxuriate and take big baths yet, but I'm going to get some special tape and it's gonna be good.
Okay, so you're very close to me
Julie
in
just
Pennsylvania.
farted.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Yeah,
You
you
did.
No, I didn't.
You didn't even have to say anything because it wouldn't have even picked it up.
Can I tell you what I think happened?
It's the sheriff. Here we go. Thank you for
Not the sheriff.
hijacking my
It's not
moment
the
with
sheriff.
Mara.
I'm gonna say what happened. Julia was talking about her bath, and I think naturally, because when you're in a bath, your body opens up.
I don't think
So I think
this
it
is
naturally
funny.
happened.
I don't think. Not only do I not
The
think
people
it's
at
funny,
home are
I'm
loving
angry.
this.
Oh.
when did you guys start farting in front of each other?
Oh, I mean,
Half
I'll
hour
say
into this
Anthony
relationship.
started that immediately, and then I guess I just like followed suit. But we were staying with my sister and her husband for a while, and they don't fart in front of each other, and she kind of like couldn't believe that we were just like burping and farting in front of each other all the time. And I was like, if we tried not to, like, okay, for today, let's not burp or fart in front of each other. We just wouldn't see each other for the whole day because we have to. And Anthony has no method of like holding it in.
Bad for your
I have
body.
to tell him that he farted. He's like, I did? He just doesn't know.
Well, it's bad for your body. That's why I used
It
to
is
implement my smell sticks.
What?
This is an interesting thing. It's an interesting
It's a
facet of
dumb bit,
myself.
and I'm
It's not a
shutting
dumb
it
bit.
down.
What?
It's a real thing that I did. I used to
It's not
dip
a
Q-tips in cologne. It is a thing I did. And because I read somewhere that if you hold in your farts, it's bad for you.
That is true. That is true. People that work in manual labor have like 85% less digestive tract issues.
Yeah,
because
thank you.
they don't
Right.
hold in their farts.
Interesting.
Yep.
Thank you.
That's
So I read it. I read
But
that
I'm
same article.
concerned about this cologne stick.
Well, I would dip these
He thinks he
Q-tips.
can walk around. If he farts, he gives people a Q-tip wrapped in cologne. It's like a weird bit
It's a
that started a while ago
gentlemanly
that we
thing
got
to
in a
do.
fight about, and you're still talking about it.
Locked it under your nose.
You're still talking about it. This started at the Women's March, okay? After Trump was elected, he started doing this bit, and it's still going.
Yeah.
And please stop.
I refuse.
The boyfriend and I have not. I actually was talking to him about this the other day. I was like,
You
never
can say
fart.
his name, Aaron Rodgers.
Derek Jeter. Yeah, I was like, you never fart in front of me, and you have like Crohn's. You should fart. You should like let it out, right? And he goes, the thing is you're such a meathead that if I open the door, you're gonna be like, oh, we farting? Cool. And I was like, and he goes,
Yeah.
I know, I gotta
right.
cut that off. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess I am a meathead.
Like you're hot enough where it doesn't matter if you're farting, but everybody's different.
I think.
But I would
yeah.
say Mara's diet is so high octane, like keto diet.
It's
Those
not
farts
keto
are
at
lethal.
all. I'm vegan.
See, he just goes and goes and goes. Thinking he knows what he talks about.
No, but Mara eats so much like
Look at his
stuff.
hands. His hands are like when he knows
I
that
don't eat a
he
lot
really
of
has to
stuff.
prove himself. His hands go up like, listen to me, listen to me.
That's I learned. I went to the Pope School of Vocation. That's how we're taught.
And now we're gonna
I am.
When are you guys gonna get married and have babies? What's happening? I'm depending
Julie
on you.
refuses.
Well, marriage probably soon, because if you're married to somebody and you rent a car, then you don't need to sign them up to
Just like
be
actually, yes.
another driver. They're just automatically
This is a
another
good
driver. And we've
reason.
been renting a lot of cars.
Honestly,
Kids, I don't know. I feel like right now we have so many babies in our life and we're just having fun hanging out with them. Like my baby niece was born like 4 months ago, and I'm sure my sister and her husband will have more kids. And so who knows?
and it's not a question of if I'm barren. It's a question of how barren am I.
Why? Do you hold them up tight? Do you wear the shorts up real close to your body?
Well,
I think you would just say infertile.
I've worn a jockstrap every day since I was 11 years
Fifth
old.
grade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's got to do something to you.
Why?
because-
Are you being serious? Have you worn a
No,
strap?
no. I'm
Oh,
not
okay,
being
I was
serious.
like-
I did wear a jockstrap for a week in high school
Do you
because
want
my
a
uncle told me
5-minute
to.
story about this? Because that's what's going to happen.
Wait. Okay, I'm sorry. I do want to hear about this. You wore a
Okay.
jockstrap for a whole week?
Yeah, I'll tell you the quick version of it too.
There is no quick
this-
version.
Cut to 3 minutes later.
Well, yeah, I don't want to deprive the good people of home of this great. This is a bit from my act, but basically, I made the basketball team in my high school. I had no, I was raised by all women, like I said. I had no men around, just my uncle. My uncle said, "We got to buy you a jock strap." So I said, "Let's do it." We went to Foot Locker together to get this thing. Julia's left during this story. If you could just see the amount of protest she's giving during this.
This story into whatever we're doing.
Wow,
I know. I love how you're like, this will be a quick version. I was born in 1996.
Yeah. Basically, his
82.
uncle did not give him nearly enough guidance on what to do with this jock guard.
Jock
And-
guard.
Jock
What's it
guard.
called?
Well, listen to the athlete over here, a jock
I'm a
guard.
dance. What is it?
A jock strap. Yeah.
Jock strap.
Yeah.
So
So
he thought he just had to wear it.
So we get this thing, the fun part of the story is me buying this thing at Foot Locker, but I'll skip over that for sake of time.
It's always has to be about you. You have your podcast. Let me shine.
I am, but Mara asked about this. I got to answer, right? So, yeah. And then I'll put myself on ice for a little bit so you can go. Don't worry. I'm not. So anyway, so we get this thing. So then it's too big for me. It's just I was insecure about the size of myself. So it's too big. But my uncle, to get used to wearing it for basketball games, made me wear it to school for a week. Well, I never got in a game. So I just wore a jock strap to school for a week.
I understand. You know what?
You're
It's best in the past.
You're a decent basketball player. So you never.
I'd say
yeah.
I would say above
a little better than
decent.
decent, but yes.
Well, are we only comparing ourselves against comedians? Is that
I've made a few baskets in my day as well.
Yeah, let's talk about Julia's history with the game of basketball.
Oh, when I was a little girl, like 5 or 6, I thought basketball was very cool, and I would cut out pictures of like basketball players, but I couldn't play and I wasn't good at sports. So I would go in my garage with a whistle and pretend to be a coach.
Oh my.
With nobody. I just love the whole like, okay, come on.
By yourself.
You.
By yourself.
Yeah.
Oh my
By
God.
myself. In fact, we had like a bring an item to school for your picture day thing, and I'm holding a tiny basketball. Never played
my
a
God.
game in my life. I gotta find that photo for you. Oh my
That's
God.
I don't think
It's so sad. It just really just shows how like I was just grasping at straws for an identity and something to be good at.
Oh my God.
And my mom was like, "You sure you want to take that?" And I was like, "Yeah,
so funny.
this is what I do."
I think my favorite thing about that is you jump to coach, which is usually what you're labeled by other
Well,
kids.
they tell
you know
everybody
what I mean?
what to do, and they're like, "Come on, this, whistle."
Right. You just
like
want
that.
power. Yeah.
And like being in charge.
Yeah. Julia likes power.
I did
Mara, go ahead though.
I
What
did
were you
the
going to
whole
say on
like
your own
my
podcast?
embarrassing thing was I pretended that the egg was a baby for far too long. Like I kept going. Did you do the egg
Did your
baby?
school ask you to do that?
They did for a day.
I didn't.
And then I just kept doing it for as long as the
And that's
jock
what's
guard
behind
was
you
on.
right now?
Yes,
Egg.
my baby. Look at
You
my
kept it.
Wait,
Yeah.
can you guys explain the egg whole
Okay,
thing
so
to me?
in high school they'll be like, taking
Well, I
care
was
of a
in fifth
baby is a
grade.
really hard. They
Fifth
made
grade.
you do that in fifth
Fifth
grade.
grade.
This gives you an idea of where Mara's kids were at. You know what I mean? Like,
This is weird.
where-
Usually it's like a high school thing.
right, well, you're
And it's
true,
like,
but
take care of the egg.
a person-
Don't break it.
a person like Mara, they're like, this girl is going to be pregnant by the time she's in 6th grade. So we got to
Fooled
get her an egg
you.
quick.
I was just cum babies in here. Just cum babies so far. Yeah.
You
No.
know how I feel like some high schools do it with like a sack of flour or something.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
So you do it with the egg.
You
My high
just-
school did real babies.
You do.
I was like,
Um,
what?
Oh, cool.
No, yeah, I held on to it, and then I never got invited to slumber parties because I was like, how come you guys didn't invite me over? Like, remember that egg thing that you did? Everyone thought that was weird. I was like, yeah, well, I was my only
Did
friend.
you bring it back to school with you? Why
I
did
brought it
anybody know that
every-
you still had
I
it?
brought it everywhere.
Oh, Mara,
man.
that is like actually so sweet because you didn't want to abandon the egg.
That's actually, yeah.
Oh,
So you'd
poor
actually be a
Mara.
good mother
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're supposed to do that with a baby. You're supposed to take it everywhere, right?
It was a dead
You
baby.
can pop it in the fridge and then you want to make a scramble, you crack the baby.
So-
baby over easy.
So when did you quit coaching and go straight into dancing? When did you become a professional?
I started to dance at a very young age, Mara. So yeah, I was a dancer throughout that stage, which who knows, was that a year, a month? I mean, things are so blurry when you're that young.
We were moving so fast, you know. You did so many spins that the world got blurry.
But so I danced throughout that, and before that, and after that.
Are you dancing
Gave up
still
that dream.
today?
I wish
All
I
as
was.
much
If
as
like
she can.
classes were a thing, I mean, before COVID, I was like, I gotta go. I would love it. And I'm just lazy, and I never did. But I would love to be doing that. I know I could do like Zoom classes and stuff. But
Yes.
Julia,
see.
yeah, if you ever see,
I'm a very good improviser dancer. Like I remember like parts of routines from when I was younger, and I like implement that. And I love to dance in front of people. And
I know.
not them dancing with me. I like to dance in front of them and make them watch.
Yes.
And not like a sexy dance, like a show tunes.
There was something about a
Musical
duck. It would
theater.
always be like you would get 3 reps into an exercise, and then you would go, and I'm a duck.
Quack, 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 quack,
And I was like,
quack,
or you could
quack,
just
quack. Yes, I
get to
played the
10.
duck in my second grade play. And I
second grade.
it's the chair that's doing that, Anthony. Stop
well, I'm
looking at
not.
me like
I'm not
that.
saying you're continually farting. I was
Oh
just
my
looking at you
God.
because I was in awe of your spectacle.
I played a duck and we did a dance, and I shook my little duck booty, and I went quack 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 quack, quack. And I was just
She
so
does
good
this
at
a
it.
lot
I gave
now.
it my
A lot.
all. Even the big kids
Yeah.
on the bus were like, "You did a really good job."
It's on the
And now I'm here, and that's why I'm here.
Yeah, the way Julia dances like that, like if you go, if you go out with Julia, like dancing, she uses the space.
Yeah.
She clears a room. She does like a whole music video. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get my filthy hands all over her, but I can't even get near her.
Do you do that? Do you try to like dry hump her while she's dancing? I hate that.
That's all I know. I grew up in North
Oh.
Jersey in the '90s.
Dance like a middle school.
And we did crotch first, hand second. I don't know your name.
First, yeah.
I'm not trying to know.
All right, this is bad G-cast, Anthony.
I mean, I'm having a good time.
How have you guys
Like
kept the
he gets
spark
in the
alive
chair.
during this whole? Because you guys are real tight together, like right on
Well,
top
we're
of one another.
codependent. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's called codependency.
Yeah.
And we're aware.
How do we keep the spark alive? Well, I think she's constantly making me laugh,
Aw,
so it's I think it's easy, like but that's
so nice.
difficult because she's got to be on, you know what I mean? Like I always have this theory where it's like if you're
What
this
is a
isn't an
spark?
apt
What is
comparison,
a spark?
but
Sexually, romantically, what do we?
no, I just
Whatever.
think like
Yeah.
to be excited around each other. That could be anything. So yeah, for me, it's like Julia just knows how to hit the right bone to make me laugh. Like she gets like, oh, you could just keep making fun of me and I'll think it's hilarious. And Julia's very good at, you know what I mean? Like, she just hits the right note.
I do love to make Anthony laugh.
And
He
then
has a great audience.
for me, all I have to do is just to keep acting.
Abs of steel.
I just have to keep being myself. And Julia finds that endlessly fascinating, and that's a never stopping well of material to just make fun of me about. So it's easy, you know.
Yeah. Some may even say unending. But
I might say that.
Yeah, I would say that. I'd probably do things. There's not much I do that you wouldn't look at for an extra second and go, well, that's not right. You know what I mean? Like
I talked about it on my.
Yes,
I think
yeah.
I said this when we were driving to Pennsylvania. I talked about it on the last Muscle Spasms podcast, my fitness podcast, where we were talking about audio cues and how I told you to sit with your shoulders against the bench, and I came back and you were completely underneath the bench.
He just doesn't understand.
yeah, exactly.
It's so strange. I'm trying to think of something recently where I was like, I had to do something for you.
Most likely, I mean, you can pick in anything, and I'll do it wrong.
It's
I really
loading
have.
the dishwasher. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, loading the
I don't do
dishwasher. I
anything.
was like, see how there's room for the cups on the side of the dishwasher,
No, I would never
and the
notice.
handles go this way, and the bowls go in the middle. And he was just like, huh.
Yeah, I would never ever notice.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a miracle I've made it this far without losing a limb.
By the way, he packed 2 shirts to come here. Granted, there's a washer and dryer here, but it's like, give yourself more options. So that's why I went out to the Salvation Army and got him some like cute flannels.
Yeah, Julia bought me like 7 new shirts. I've worn this one of the 7 4 days in a row.
Yeah.
You had 92 bags with you.
Okay, well, that was like a soundboard. I don't know what you
That was
got,
actually-
He bought the TRX, which we're not going to use.
Sorry,
happened?
my mom's calling.
Hi, Mom.
What
Oh,
did
yeah, how's that
Joanne
going?
like to
Are-
be in
oh.
on
Here,
that?
you just have to do
Are
this.
are
There
you
go.
getting along with the mother-in-law? Do we have any?
Joanne?
Yes.
Of course.
Oh, they get
I
along
love
great.
Joanne.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't seen Joanne in over a year now.
What?
But she is getting her second vaccine in a couple weeks, a few weeks. So, and I still, my antibodies will be good for, I don't know.
Because you
I
guys
think by that
had
time.
you
Yeah, right.
had the COVID. You
Yes,
had the
me and
vid.
Anthony had COVID in the middle of and end of December.
Oh,
And
right at Christmas time.
so we haven't seen Anthony like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
What a
100%.
gift.
It was just
Yeah,
me
really.
staring at my dumb tree, being like, what the fuck is happening? But yeah, so I haven't, Anthony's only seen his mom a couple of times. And so, yeah, it'll be very exciting to like, she'll be very excited.
Yeah.
What
I
do
mean, we
you guys-
FaceTime almost
Yeah.
every day, but yeah.
Every day. You FaceTime your mom.
My mom,
Well,
yeah.
He does. Well, in the beginning when she wasn't working, we called her a lot. And then now she's back at work. She's a hairdresser. So, but like, it's like at least a phone call. And
Yeah, I will
if
call
I
my
don't,
mom
if
every
I
day.
like don't make an appearance in the phone call for a few
Yeah,
days, it's like
it's
I
true.
need to make an appearance.
Yeah, she's like, is Julia sick?
Does she still love me?
Does she still love me?
She alive? Did you show her your haircut?
Last night, actually.
Oh, the
Dudley
like the
Moore
bad
one?
one. I think I don't know if you ever
I think I was too. I didn't.
sent her.
Yeah, I would. My mom values hair over everything. I mean, she loves Julia, loves Julia, but that would cause a rift. I think that Julia was capable
no,
of
she'd just
doing
be like,
that.
I showed
to
you
me.
how to do it. Okay, I'll teach you. And like, and she's tried teaching me, and it's like, Joanne, I'm not going to retain any of it. So just you take over the haircut. Like she had me like cutting pieces at,
Oh,
back
that's right.
before
I remember
COVID when
that.
we would go to Jersey and visit her, and then he would get a haircut and she would cut his hair.
It
was
actually
just
is
like-
the chair.
It's not, I know it's the chair.
Okay.
The chair is making sounds when I shift my weight.
All right.
Dear viewers, I'm sitting on a chair that makes a sound when I shift my weight that is similar to a fart that Anthony thought I was
Identical.
farting. And by the way, even if I was farting, why would you do me dirty like that and like tell Mara?
Oh,
Because I don't love people to know that I fart. Like you don't care.
if people like, the more we're open, the more people feel okay about themselves.
We're creating a
you
safe
know,
community for others.
celebrities. They're just like us, kind of thing. That's why there's that.
Speaking of doing,
Oh, Mara, you know
Oh.
what it's time
You know
for?
what it's time
Oh, boy.
for. Thank you so much. You are a good coach. You are a good
Thanks.
coach. Let's
Thank
take
you.
this little alarm break for our sponsor, Best Fiends. Best Fiends is a downloadable game that you can play right on your handheld, right on your little computadora that you hold in your pocket all day long. It is amazing. I love it so much. It's free to download. It's called Best Fiends. Fiends. It's friends without the R. So it's a casual mobile puzzle game. I honestly cannot put it down, mostly because Dave, the boyfriend, plays with his RC cars, and then I play with the game on my phone. So you don't have to be a hardcore gamer to love this game. It is for adults, and it's always changing, and there's little characters that are fucking adorable. So get after it. Make sure to download it on the Apple App Store or Google Play. That is Best Fiends, Fiends. That's friends without the R. Again, that's Best Fiends on the Apple App Store or Google Play. Okay, so wait.
Excellent.
Can we get back
Speaking
to
of games.
Speaking of playing games, can we talk about the Girardi divorce?
Oh my
Who?
gosh. So
Yes.
you're gonna have no idea what I'm talking about, except that I've kind of been telling you bits and pieces about the news. She's talking about Erica Girardi.
I know
Yes.
who that is.
I
Of
know
course I
you
know who that is.
Well, she
Erica
just said the
X. What's her
Girardi
name?
divorce, and you had no idea. So
I didn't hear her. I didn't hear
Girardi.
her. Right. Girardi.
Erica Jane,
Erica.
her real last name is Erica Girardi.
Erica Girardi, but then she goes by Erica X, right? on
She
stage.
doesn't. I just told you what her name is Erica Jane. She's the pretty mess on Instagram,
Right.
and her real name is Erica Girardi. And we don't need anything from you for this part. For this part of the conversation. No, we don't need you.
Does she have like a stage name?
Yes, Erica Jane.
Really? It's not
This is
something
so
more.
annoying. I clearly am an authority of knowledge on this.
For sure. I'm not saying you're
and
not.
you're doubting me, and
No,
you're thinking of one of her songs, which is Expensive, spelled with 3 X's.
That's probably
so.
it.
Will you stop being like, "Are you sure? Isn't it that?" And it's like, I'm telling you, and I know.
For sure. All right.
Take my word.
I got you.
Oh my god.
I have snot running.
So what do you
down
want to
my
know? You
face.
want to talk about it? You want
Yeah,
to recap?
okay, so at the beginning I was like, oh my God, I wanted to know if you guys broke up or if you guys
Do
were
you
okay.
talk about Housewives on your
And-
podcast? Are people going to know what we're talking about?
Okay, we're talking about Housewives, everyone. I talk about how much I love reality. Oh my God, are you watching 90 Day Fiancé?
I haven't in a long time, but
There's a
Who's
girl.
the girl? Larissa.
there's so many.
Larissa.
There's so many.
You
That's
just made that
that's
up.
like no,
No, that's
that
a
is a
person.
girl. That's
Yeah.
from it was Colty's first girlfriend when he first got on the
Colty,
show.
Colty.
See, but there's so many different.
Colty,
It's like
I stab
before
your
the 90
mother.
days, after the 90 days. How are we doing this 90 days? Like there's so many.
It is
Anyways, viewers, we were talking about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yes, let's get back to that.
Erica Jane, aka Erica Girardi, who is married to Tom Girardi, who is the lawyer for Aaron Brockovich. So he's
Yes.
the one, not in the movie, the real lawyer. And there's like a 40-year age difference between them, maybe.
It got dirty, though.
dirty.
It's getting dirty.
Well, so yeah, they're filing for divorce, and it's coming out that he stole money from his clients. He represented victims' families from the Boeing 737 plane
Right.
crashes. And he got them settlement money, and he was taking the settlement money and basically I think has been broken in debt for a very long time, has been moving money around, funneling money to Erica. And a lot of people at first were like, this divorce isn't even real. He's trying to hide assets, which could very well be true.
Interesting.
It's definitely very dark.
Wasn't
because-
he spending the money on her makeup crew?
Well, the thing is, on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, it's like Erica's whole thing is it's expensive to be me. This is my glam. This is my project manager. We're going on tour.
Right.
All
Would
this
she-
stuff. So
wouldn't she get a
he's
budget
funded
for
her
that?
Career.
Yeah, he definitely funded her career.
From him.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
From him. Yeah.
Well-
But it's listen, this is a woman who pays for all of her makeup team to fly first class with her. So that's a lot
Private
of money.
jet, son.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have so many jets.
That's a lot of money.
A ton.
Yeah. And basically it's I think that he's filing for bankruptcy. I think the money is gone. The money has been gone. The money has been moving around in a non-legal way.
I did not
So the
know
issue
any of
is-
this.
Knew about it. Did she know about it?
We don't know. And I'm pretty sure she'll be subpoenaed
What do you
if
think?
she's not getting sued herself. What do I think?
That's a
I
good
think
question.
Tom is smart enough not to disclose that information to his wife, and that she's smart enough not to ask many questions. So maybe she knew, but didn't know that, maybe she knew, okay, this is okay. We're putting the money in a shell company. Okay. But, maybe she didn't know that, and this money is coming from victims of, families of plane crash victims and stuff.
Do you think they'll turn that into a reality show?
Well, they're filming the season. It's going to be covered. So we'll see how much she reveals. This is why I love reality TV, because people are like, it's not real. And it's no, this woman's husband might go to jail, and they're going to talk about it. So that is real. So we'll see what her spin on it is.
Teresa Giudice, however you say her last name, she went to jail. That was totally real.
She did. So did her
Yeah.
husband, and her husband was deported. So
Well, he's just a scumbag.
yes. Yeah.
I was
Joe,
just thinking
right?
of how
Yes, Anthony.
I was just thinking about how Erica Girardi is definitely having a little spiral moment on Instagram.
Why? Because her crazy Facetune photos.
Yeah, her Facetune photos, and
She's a
seemed
Savage
little
by Fenty
sultry-ish.
ambassador.
Yeah.
Well, she's a Savage by Fenty ambassador.
Oh, that's the Rihanna brand.
Yeah.
I saw their fashion show, and I had a panic
Triggered
attack.
Anthony into a panic attack. There was too many flashing
Too
lights.
many colors.
He took an edible.
Yeah. I told you that story, right?
No.
But
I took a full edible on an empty stomach, and then.
which, by the way, these edibles are 50 milligrams.
I didn't know that.
I don't know what that means.
When I give him an edible, it's a lot. When I give him, okay, so like usually I have a gummy bear, and what he takes of a gummy bear is one of the gummy bear feet. That is how much he takes. This man took the whole thing on an empty stomach, doesn't smoke weed regularly, thought he was having a heart attack, called the EMTs to our apartment during a pandemic.
Yeah. Well,
I
I
literally called.
out.
He's like, "Hey, I took drugs. I know this is like." I was like, "Anthony, this is textbook. What happens when people get too high? Like, you're not having a heart attack." And then that lasted for 4 months, just him constantly thinking he was having a heart attack, and being like, "I'm gonna call 911," and being like, "Please do not call 911.
Yeah.
Please stop calling 911."
But triggered by the Rihanna fashion show called Fenty. And she gave a disclaimer.
Called Fenty.
She gave a disclaimer that was like, there's going to be a lot of flashing lights and colors. And I was like, that'll be fun. You know, I'm on this drug. And then, man, it took a turn. And now ever since then, like, that's my goal, I think, at some point, is to be able to get to a place where I feel good enough where I can attempt to watch the Rihanna,
really cool. It's on Amazon.
Fenty fashion show.
I'll post it on
fashion show. Trying so hard to be informed. Be hip. Owned by Rihanna. Fenty. Anyways, Erica Jane was in the fashion show.
Was going to be, what is Facetune?
Oh, basically, it's like a way you filter your. So like
your face is like a cartoon.
Kind of, yeah. Like their nose is thinner and their eyes bigger and like their legs longer. You know, like it's like, you know, when people are like, oh, Photoshop fail. It's because like everyone's altering their photos.
Oh, so they can look like drawn people. Like
one's trying to look like drawn people. They're just trying to look thinner, better, whatever.
I would say it's impossible ideal. You know what I mean? And maybe that's where women are headed, unfortunately. Because Jessica Rabbit was a sought after figure.
All right. Yeah, it's an ideal that's not achievable. And yeah, the Kardashians.
This is a new thing too, I think, that women are really trying to make themselves look better, right? Don't you think?
Oh yeah.
This is brand new.
Do you think this is going to be a big problem for the female community?
I see it as a problem. I look at myself as a watchdog for the female community. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And here I am with my magnifying glass looking over what's going on.
Do you say, here I am? How many times in a conversation do you say, and here I am? Anyways, but they've got crazy ones now that like stretch your legs. So like, it just looks crazy.
Yeah.
But so yeah, she's not posting any like, here's me in my regular life photos. She's posting like, you know, all the Savage Fenty photo shoots.
What is
lingerie?
Savage?
It's lingerie, Anthony. That's the name of the company.
That you.
Oh, the name of the company is Savage.
You actually.
Okay, sometimes I get confused.
Educated us on.
I'm letting you. I'm giving you the reins, but every now and again, I'd like to, you know, pull the horse over to go. Where are we going?
Have you guys done any other drugs together?
No, I mean, we went upstate for my 30th, and I did shrooms, but I was the only one that did shrooms.
You were the only one that did
drugs for him.
Did you feel weird being the only person on shrooms?
Absolutely not. I prefer it that way. I mean, I would have like totally tripped with somebody, just one other person, but it's like, yes, somebody be the adult. So, like, watch me in case somebody be sober.
I will say, when Julia on shrooms, she got consumed by the fire.
We had a fireplace at this Airbnb. And I learned a lot from the fire.
Yeah.
And that was a really big part of my trip, actually. I ended up trying to keep the fire going. And how I was, you know, fucking with it too much. And then it would go out. And that kind of became metaphor for you know, like, stop messing with things too much. They're fine the way they are. Stop trying to make it better. Things are good.
Ooh.
So that's what I learned from the fire.
Yeah, it was actually a good life lesson. I like when Julia, and I've said this before, but when Julia like gets high, her defenses come down a little bit. Because like Julia's
Yeah.
default is everything is perceived as an
Extremely
attack,
defensive, yeah.
no matter what it is, right? But when she gets high, that comes down, and it's really, really fun.
And I laugh at more of what he says.
Yes, and
much
Julia,
harder.
yes, Julia. For me, selfishly, yes, that's exactly what happened.
I
enjoy
also
it,
was
but when
intrigued by the fire when I did mushrooms, and I was like, in my head, I couldn't stop talking to myself about things that were happening in the fire. Could you speak out loud? 'Cause
Same. I don't know if I'm not sure if I was speaking out loud, but there was certainly a dialogue with
Yeah.
myself.
every now and again, something would like sneak through the crack. You know what I mean?
It was like my mind voice, like you know,
Yeah.
the voice in your head that can speak way faster and doesn't have to use complete words because you know what you're talking about. And
Yes.
so I would say like racing thoughts.
Yeah, and then she would, a lot of these I would imagine
But I
were
was still like
kept.
talking to them.
Oh,
like, they were,
totally.
and it's like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
wouldn't
you were fine.
necessarily know I was on
No.
shrooms. It's like it kind of lasted for a while. My friend was like, "Are you still on shrooms? Are you still on shrooms?" And it's like I'm gonna be on shrooms for the rest of the day because I took them and they're in me, and like I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
After a good night's sleep.
How did you
I
take
was-
them?
Oh, ground up in pills.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, I
I
would-
do the
In, like,
black tea.
You know,
Sorry.
no, I hate the taste of
No,
it.
it's all
I've eaten
right.
it with like in a peanut butter like sandwich before, but this they grind it up and they put it in a little capsule so you can swallow it.
Got it. And that works.
Yeah,
It works, and I just love it. I really love it. And it's unfortunate that Anthony's system is a little bit too delicate because he enjoys reading about psychedelics and is very interested in psychedelics, but he needs some time to recover.
I need a little time
Like,
after
before he
the
would do a
Rihanna
little bit of
Fenty
an
fashion
edible,
show.
but now that's completely off the table.
So there's no
Yeah.
like ayahuasca in your future, Anthony.
No, I think there is.
No, not for me. I'm on too many antidepressants.
Oh, she actually can't because it'll
Oh.
mess with the
I would
chemicals.
very much love to do that, but I've come to terms with the fact that I won't be able to.
Yeah, that's
Well-
that's intense. You need like
Yeah.
a shaman.
But I
Yeah.
would love to do that, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I definitely.
See how she's breathing? She's getting ready to say something. See how she took a deep breath?
I did actually.
let's-
Yeah, for
Actually,
sure.
I
For sure.
honestly, I've interrupted Anthony how many times? 4 times? Because you just kept going. Well, so I feel like
you
do
have to because he just keeps going. He's used to hosting his own show and
Here's the
trying to
thing.
speak over Greg and Brendan. So
Oh,
also
that's a
too,
challenge.
it's an impossible feat. For me, I'm the sidecar on this show. You know what I mean? Like I've got my
you're
own.
talking a lot for
I'm TV's Anthony Devito. I feel very comfortable in my career and what I've achieved. So I'm very happy to like step aside on this one and let you kind of drive the
Why
bus.
were you stepped?
What is it that you've accomplished? I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I'm happy to answer.
My man's been on the Late Show and Comedy Central.
Yeah, I've got a
and
wonderful
all
album
of them.
out.
So I'm gonna
I've
make fun of him.
Comedy
Don't-
Central half hour.
Please
I've
look
written
up
for the White House
Dream
Correspondents' Dinner.
Occupation
I
on
really have done a
Spotify.
lot.
Is his I'm trying to plug your album. Would you stop talking? Look up Dream Occupation on Spotify, or you can buy it wherever you buy albums.
Have you ever gotten into a fight, Julia, and then Anthony did you have to come to a rescue? Would you ever do like the provider?
Physical fight with somebody else?
Maybe like a verbal fight? Do you ever fight with anyone?
No.
I didn't think so.
Not really. No.
Julia, yeah. I mean,
I feel like the only person I get in like verbal disputes with is like my sister, and that's because she's related to me. So I don't like. I certainly
Do you
don't
guys
get drunk
fight?
and fight with strangers at a bar. Anthony and I.
Yes.
yeah, like every
Yeah, but
couple.
it's not like fighting, like "fuck you," like "boo."
Yeah.
It's I don't know how to explain it.
I remember the last fight that we had. I can't even remember what it was
Anthony
about.
Tried to slam.
but
He was like,
I tried-
"I'm leaving." He tried to slam the bathroom door, and it didn't close all the way, so then he had to come
I had
back.
to go
and
back and do it
shut
again.
it.
And
And
then
then immediately he was like, "I'm sorry, that was uncalled." You know,
Yeah.
it's just like, I mean, it's been crazy. The pandemic's we've been inside an apartment together,
yeah, we're
pretty much just us for a lot of it. Now
Yeah.
we've been able to like, quarantine and go travel and, not see anybody, but like just go see someone and
Ye-
stay there for like a month. just to be out of our apartment.
Yeah, I would say the only times that like we really got squirrely during quarantine was just the confines of our apartment, you know? Like as soon as we left there, I think at least for me, like I was like, oh, we're fine. It's just that we're in this super cramped space in Queens. And I think after a little while that started to get to us.
And then just like your normal childhood trauma projections on your partner. Like, you know what I mean? It's never like
True.
Anthony's really bad at doing this or Anthony's abusive. It's just like I am going through this thing where I'm going to scream at him and I'm very mad at him. And then I'll realize that it's not his fault and I'll be deeply sorry and regretful. And, you know, I'll talk to Jane.
Yeah, the half-life of our fights have gotten so much quicker. You know what I mean? And like, I would say it's like more Julia doing a lot of work on herself and like coming to like what this is actually about faster. Like that, and that yeah, just like expedites the making up process.
And a lot of times I'll be grumpy with Anthony and then I get high and I'm like, what am I doing? He's so nice. Go tell him how much you love him. Oh my God.
So that's why I'm a big fan. I'm a big advocate for weed in Julia's life.
Oh, this is so nice to talk to you, Mara.
I know. I was really hoping that I would
done any Zoom comedy shows. I haven't done any podcasts. It's been like over a year.
I did one Zoom comedy show and it was rough going.
I haven't done any comedy shows. I know like people were doing them in parks and stuff during the summer.
Oh, I did that. Yeah.
But
I know. It was really nice to see a human. I honestly was in a very good mood the rest of the day after I drove. I was like, it was so nice to see a human being that I wasn't like,
oh, yeah.
I was like, hi, a person.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And a person like you like to hang out with. You know what I mean? Like you forget what that feeling is.
Yeah, because this is like you'll hang out with whoever you can.
Yeah, at this point. I was talking to a door guy the other day. I was like, how have you been?
I would do that naturally. That's my deep. I would naturally do that. I told you I became friends with this guy. I became like pretty decent Instagram friends with this Amtrak employee who like refunded my ticket.
To talk to customer service.
I love to talk to customer service.
I became friends with
I make their day.
A toll guy once, and we started following each other, and he was
kept going through the same toll.
No, I only met him the one time.
Just the one time.
Wow. And then we followed each other on Instagram. I was like, this is interesting.
But it's like, aren't there people behind you? Don't you have to keep going? Like you stopped long enough to exchange usernames? Like what?
Well, I'll say this, Mara. I mean, you have a thing going on.
It's crazy, and I feel bad for everyone else on the road behind.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, that's true.
All right, maybe I made a bad move.
It's worth the follow. You know, you got to get those followers. It's all worth it.
For me, I know if like I make friends with a person, it's all they want nothing else but whatever. With Mara or even like women, I guess it's like
don't generalize about women.
Well, there could be this like other thing where it's like, you know, I don't know. They might want to chop me to bits and make me into a nice stew.
Yeah.
Not a nice stew, but a stew.
Women think about
what?
Toll workers.
Toll workers, sure. Any man. Yeah.
That is, yeah.
It's a man move.
Do you often feel like defensive, Julia, about like if a man is trying to have even any sort of relationship with you, do you automatically think they just want to fuck? They just want to bone?
Not that they want to fuck, but I'm just like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's just like, even in New York, like you're not used to talking to any stranger. So any stranger trying to talk to you is like, what are you doing?
That is true, man. Julia always thinks
the most uncomfortable.
There's like I was saying, everything's perceived as an attack or like, what's the scam here?
Angry. Yeah.
With me, I'm like, I'm making a new friend that has to be.
Yeah, Anthony. Oh gosh.
It's always that. For Julia, it's like, what's your end game, pal?
We had to get a refund from Airbnb, and he calls Airbnb, talking to the customer service agent, and he's just telling her about how we're there visiting my niece and how wonderful it is. And he passes the phone to me and she's like, congratulations, it's such a wonderful time. And I'm like, I have to leave the room because I can't listen to him conversations with me because I'm so embarrassed.
That's true.
Anthony loves to strike up a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a week.
I'm very interested in people's lives.
Yeah, you are. That's very nice of you. But also it can be a big time waster when you're like, can you just get through the conversation?
Like things to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I don't think there's anything that Julia probably
what's
hates
crazy
more
is
about
you're
me
wasting
than that.
your time too, because whatever that thing you're calling for, it's always just a thing on your to-do list, and you make it. Oh,
Actually
hi,
true.
Teresa. It's Anthony. Yeah, I'm having a little trouble with my computer. Yeah, I think I got it like 7 years. I was living in Hawaii at the time. Just way more than anyone wants.
Yeah, you're actually right. I never really thought about that because then I always get overwhelmed by the things that I have to do.
It to yourself.
I'm actually doing that to myself. Interesting.
Isn't that look at who's working on themselves now? You thought it was just Julia.
We both are. No,
know.
Anthony has Maureen, his therapist.
Ooh, you have
Yeah,
a therapist
You know,
too.
he
I didn't
reads
know
a
that.
lot of books.
Oh yeah, Maureen. She's a lifesaver. Julia's very good at pointing out because I don't really notice anything.
I'm the daughter of a shrink, and my sister's a therapist as well, and I'm very interested in psychology. So I try to
I didn't know your
like,
sister was a therapist.
maybe you're doing this, Anthony, because of this.
Yeah.
I'm usually right.
She's usually right. She's very good at like making bridges in my actions and my past, and also just general like
I'm very intuitive as well.
like if I'm bleeding, like Julia's very good at being like, you're bleeding.
Yeah, well, that's a weird thing. That's not like a general. She's good at reading people thing. You just oftentimes are bleeding and don't know why.
That you're bleeding.
Yeah.
Most people are aware of their own
blood.
It happens more often than you think, Mar. I have a lot of head pimples.
You. It happens a lot more than you think to you.
I see what you did there.
To you.
I took an icicle to the eye the other day.
Girl, that is scary. Like there's some crazy icicles here. And we're staying with the girl I nanny for who's like almost 3. And I'm just like, don't stand under them.
Look, Mara, I don't
stand under them.
I don't kink shame anyone, so don't worry.
Yeah, whatever works for you.
Well, I was grandstanding outside because I wanted Dave, that's his name, to help me film something for a smoothie mix that I was making. And he was on the phone. And so I was like, ugh. So I just looked up and I hit the icicles with my hand and they came down and I was like, had to pretend I wasn't hurt because I was like, oh, but then I had this huge red thing in my eyeball.
No.
And he was like, oh my God.
That is scary. Is your eye okay?
Yeah, it really hurt that day.
Yeah.
It was really.
You could like actually hurt yourself.
I know.
Like
so
you could like actually.
You could like. I could have like lost my eyesight probably.
Kind of. Yeah.
I know. And so I learned a lesson that day to just talk out my things instead of.
Yep. Just ask people for what you need instead of throwing objects, whether they can melt or not. Just express your needs.
What's the I guess like what's the most what's the word I'm looking for here? What's the most severe injury you've ever suffered?
Oh, well, I mean a lot.
You're so active.
Yeah, I mean I got hit by a bike. I got hit by a car on my bike, and it threw me into a tree, and I shattered my pelvis. This was in 2003, and then I got hit by I have been hit on
a couple
my
years after 9/11
bike.
I don't know. I can't.
Just for context.
Yeah.
And Pearl Harbor also before that. And
also 50 decades.
People will do the math at home, I'm sure.
And some 16-year-old kid was taking his grandma to church, and it was his first day driving, and he took a right turn too late, and I hit him and flipped over the car because he didn't.
Damn.
Yeah. So I've been in a lot. Recently I climbed a tree.
And that's why I don't bike.
And fell out of it and hobbled in the house. I was like,
you were telling me this story.
Yeah, I was like, my ankle. And I was like, no, I'm good. But it's not good. It still hurts really bad. So
is it sprained or you just hurt it?
Yeah, I think it's sprained. I mean, I really landed. I dropped a good, 9 feet.
Why are you climbing trees?
What else are we gonna do?
Right. No, I get it.
We're in a pandy,
as soon
baby.
as I said it, absolutely. No,
you don't ever just see a tree. I always see a tree and I go, I'd love to climb that thing, but I can't.
Climb a tree.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
I mean, it
you can
depends
climb
on
it.
Obviously, it's dependent on the tree, the number of branches, and how close they are to the ground. But generally, I'm not like, this is a thing I do.
Well,
I would do it more if society was all right with it. You know what I mean?
Again, did you see how she took a breath and was getting ready to say something, but you proceeded anyways?
do you guys
I'll
have
get
trees
better
in
at
your backyard?
Not
in
in
Queens,
Pennsylvania where we are now,
Current.
yes. Um, but in
Honesdale,
Queens,
Pennsylvania.
Honesdale,
Beautiful
Pennsylvania,
country.
in a beautiful like Victorian
CVS,
house
large
that used to
CVS.
be a funeral home. Large
Yeah, 24 hour.
24-hour large CVS. We don't have like the root of the tree isn't in our backyard. It's like 2 apartments over, but like we get to see all of the branches and the leaves and stuff like that. So for the beginning of the pandemic, I was just laying in a hammock staring at leaves for a long time,
That's
Yeah.
watching them
nice.
blow in the wind, which is also what I like to do on shrooms. I like to watch the leaves.
Oh my gosh, that's so much fun. But I always see
Yeah, I like to
donuts for
watch
some
trees blow.
reason, like really fluorescent donuts on
Interesting.
mushrooms. Yeah. I
Oh,
know.
I never
Well, in
have
general.
hallucinations or anything like that.
Ooh, yeah,
Never,
I do. It's like a
not yet
wave.
had.
You should maybe try the black tea with the caffeine
I
with it.
definitely, I just became aware of like a newer, I have like a better way to get them now.
Mhm.
So when I'm back in the city, I want to.
Yes. I would do it with you. We could call that a training session.
I'll refer you. I'll refer you to my service. Please.
So you guys have had a pretty successful Patricia, basically, together as a couple. A pandemic.
What?
Patricia?
A pandy.
Is that what it's called?
A pandemic, a Patsy, a Patricia, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, I see.
Just any
yeah,
P
yeah,
word.
Gotcha. Yeah, pretty successful, I would
Yeah,
say.
I mean, we're very lucky, because of this. I've had more time to like see my family. Obviously, it's a little bit harder to, for all of my family to be together. But like, my sister just had a baby and I got to go there for like 6 weeks because, I lost my job. So I don't have a job.
Yeah, there've been things like that that's like we would have never done. Also, it's been nice just like because I'm on the road usually like half of the month, so
Yeah, that was like,
it's
I
been
can't believe we ever lived life that way where you were just going and coming all the time. That was like a really big issue.
so it's been really nice to be around each other because like we would never really get that much time around each other. And then it was like, yeah, at night, usually during the week, I would be out doing spots like every night or like, Julia would be working. So it's like we've had some like real time to be together. And it's been also nice to find out that we like each other like a lot. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I
because
didn't
you
know
don't
that before.
no, no, but what I mean is like the volume. Because I think that was like a lot of the fear with like couples is like, man, like we exist in this way and it works. But what happens if we're around each other all the time?
Yeah, I mean, I mainly think that would have been an issue for people who are like 1 year in or like 6
That's
months
true.
in, or
Yeah.
like we already had a lot of time.
Yeah, and we had overcome some stuff so yeah, we were
we'd
pretty good.
overcome some
We had.
stuff. Yeah, no, we have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to share what that stuff was? Like an example of what?
Sure. Pretty early on in our relationship, like a year, my ex-boyfriend passed away. And so it was a very weird situation of me mourning my ex-boyfriend with my new boyfriend. And that was a very hard time.
How did that make you feel?
Well, it was complex because I was really, really in love with Julia, which was, it's scary. And I hadn't really, it doesn't sound great, but I hadn't felt that way in a long time about somebody. And the last time that happened, it did not end well at all. So I was terrified to kind of embark on that again. So when that happened, it caused like a little bit of distance between us. And I immediately like default mode went into like, oh, she's separating herself from me. I need to separate myself to protect myself. So we were both kind of doing that. And yeah, we ended up on a break for at least a couple months, I would say.
Wow.
It doesn't seem that long to me, but everything about that time does seem like kind of blurry. But yeah, so he had to like console me over like my ex-boyfriend, and it hadn't been like that long.
How did he pass away?
It was an accidental overdose. So yeah, he passed away in his sleep, and he was very young and very talented, and his name is Dan Ronan, and you can look up his comedy on YouTube. And he was just so funny, so talented. He would have been a huge star. You guys should go look him up. But I've still kept in touch with his family, and I'm very, my best friend is his sister. So it was also just knowing a family that went through like this loss,
That's a
as
huge
well
loss.
as like me mourning him, and we weren't really speaking. And it was one of those things where like we weren't friends again yet. And yeah, so it was just a weird.
Those are a lot of feelings to reconcile with, and then also try to
And then be like, this
keep
is
going
my
this like
boyfriend.
newer
This is the guy I
relationship.
love, and all I'm thinking about is this guy that I used to date, and how things didn't end the right way. And
How did you guys come
go
back
through a lot
together?
of.
Months went
I
by.
started going to therapy. I don't know if I was in therapy before that.
You were. It just wasn't. You were in therapy more during that period.
Yeah, just like a lot of therapy, and like Anthony, I think probably needed some space and took his time, and
We just kind of slowly got back together. I mean, I can remember like we were trying to just be friends, kind of like trying to do that, but it was
that lasted for like 2 days. Like he says 2 months, but I'm
That
like, I
was
feel
2
like this all
months.
happened in a week, because I can't imagine us not.
we would talk like text or whatever, like maybe like once a week or something like that.
I mean, he says this is true, and I'm not saying he's a liar,
It's
but
true.
I just don't know.
No, like we, like you do that thing where I was trying to just like protect myself, and I was worried about just getting right
But
back
also, it's
into
not
it.
like he abandoned me during my time of grief.
I couldn't
Like,
do that.
He was there for me as much as I let him be.
Right.
And then,
It was hard.
I really went through that.
Well, you hold
week
things very close to the
experience.
chest. You don't.
Me?
Yes. I mean, you share as much as you want to share, but
Yeah.
yeah.
No, yeah, it takes time for me to like share certain things.
Yeah. You're not as vulnerable as
reveal
you.
the extent.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like a time where, and then I was really just spending a lot of time with my ex-boyfriend's family. And so that was also,
And if we had been,
we're all friends now. He's very good friends with, they're like my family. And so like we all hang out, Anthony included. And so I think at first that was like a little weird.
It was
to bring those two worlds together.
We're all right. I mean, I wouldn't, we've got, but I would say it was like just too early in our relationship to handle something like
that. Do you want to
that.
meet my best friend? By the way, she's my ex.
Right.
Sister.
And he was like a very funny comedian, and like,
and it's like I had, are probably friends of yours that
Yeah.
knew him, and all of my friends. And so it was like this huge loss for the community too. And
it was also like, I would even say, I mean, like it's so selfish on my part, but it's like I was a little younger in doing comedy, so like I didn't feel as validated by comedy or like as secure as to where I was. So it's like these things were all like embroiled, within each other. Like my insecurity about my own value doing comedy, like Dan being a revered comedian who's now being celebrated by my whole world. And then like, in a young relationship feeling insecure about where we were at. So yeah, it was just all these things. It was kind of a perfect storm. And then it took some months, and then it was just that thing of like, hey, I can't just be friends with you. If I'm just friends with you, then I can't be around you.
I was also just like very unstable, and it took a while to like get some meds going where I could really like sustain myself in like life. And
you were 23, like,
how long have you guys been together?
8 or 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was 8 years in May 22nd, when I was 22 is when I moved to New York. And then I met him like around then. And then like by October we were a thing. But I always count the beginning of our relationship as like July.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, when it started.
That's when it started.
That's cute. What'd you guys do for your first date?
Look at this ring he got me. I got this for Christmas. This is my right hand, so don't freak out.
Wait, is that the wedding
Everybody,
hand?
it's gold. No, it's the right hand, but it is the ring finger, but it's the right hand.
That's real cool.
Is that a promise ring?
Yeah, it's a promise I'll add more jewelry because this made me very happy. I don't know. I'm really not concerned about that, but I do want to nail it down legally. So I want to get the paperwork in there. You know what I mean? Just so it's
for the
For the
rental.
car.
For the rental.
Yeah, it's a
For
little
the
smoother
rental.
over at
You don't
budget.
understand. We've rented so many cars like this past summer
I
and through the
agree.
pandemic that it has become a very big inconvenience. Also, that we both have $500 limits on our credit cards, so it's really hard to rent a car.
Yeah, it's very embarrassing too.
They don't let you do it on your debit. You have to do it on your credit, and so there's been so many times where we've gone to rent the car and come home without a car, and I've just had to figure something out.
Yeah. Yeah, I got my first credit card at 38.
And I've been begging him for years.
I had a debit credit, but they don't
That's not a credit. That's just a debit card.
That's just a debit.
It's just a debit card. It's not a
They
credit
call
card.
it debit
They call
credit.
it debit credit. It's not a credit card.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'll never get a credit card because that'll be terrible. I'll go into huge debt. But it's like, well, then you'll never have credit. So
yeah, that's the other thing.
anyways, I now have a higher limit. So we should be good going forward.
Yeah, I'm at about 600 now, and I'm climbing.
Oh my God.
Whoa!
I'm climbing. I have amazing credit. I've worked really hard to get my credit score up. But I'm not employed, so they won't give me
Anything. I know. I thought about getting a real job just for that reason. Just to get my credit score to go up a little bit. I feel like comedians need that financial planner. We need a union. We need help.
I think they tried that.
They tried that at
Yeah,
one
they
point.
tried that in the 70s.
Yeah. I think even later than that. Like
That was pre 9/11, right? Pre 9/11.
That was pre 9/11.
I'm not sure where to place it in the realm of 9/11. That's a great call. Who knows?
I mean, I never made a dime from comedy. That is never how I've made my money. I've always had day jobs and stuff.
Yeah, I think we can technically join the freelancers union, but that
maybe you
is
could,
like
but that's fine. He
trickier.
supports himself through work and shows and the podcast and
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Plus our new podcast.
and me through my
yes.
pottery. I'm just
Okay, so
kidding.
let's talk about that for a second.
Let's talk about it on air.
Yeah.
That's what let's
become accountable.
hide nothing from the public.
Where
Have
you
a
guys
business
are
meeting.
you guys are creating some art together. Yes?
I guess
We think so. Yeah. I haven't nailed down what to call it, but yeah.
But yeah, we would love to have
Possibly.
a program together.
Do you
This is
guys
possibly in the
Bring
works?
this banter to the people?
Anthony, do you get to decide what the name is, or is this more of a Julie? Okay, I didn't think so.
I was
like
brainstorming yesterday when I was in the shower.
Ultimately, I feel like I'll have to approve it. So
The
in a sense,
Julia Zone.
It's up to me because
was gonna
if
call
I
it
don't like it, I'm just going
tiny
to
little-
TV's Anthony
Anthony's a
DeVito.
great writer and has great ideas. So I might just like whatever he comes up with.
True.
And I might not, and I might make that very clear. But Mara wants to put us on the air. So
Yes.
make
Yeah,
me
we'll
a rich woman.
I have to say, you guys were the top downloaded podcast episode.
Seriously?
Yes, everyone loved it, and you were
Whoa.
the most requested to come back. And
Get out of here.
I know. And then
Boy, it took you so long to bring us back. Your poor fans.
well, here's what happened. I accidentally deleted when I tried to archive old episodes, and then I finally found it. I found the hard.
Okay, cool. Because I looked for it and I was like, oh shit, everything's gone.
I know. I'm putting it up, and then I'm
Right.
putting this one up. So we're gonna do.
Okay.
It'll be a back-to-backer so that people can.
That's very exciting. So like, when was that? That was like a year ago?
a year
and a half?
A year and a half. It was so
Oh, boy.
it's so
Wow.
funny, and that's when Marshall fell in love with you too. He listened to the episode to
Right.
re-edit
I
it,
mean,
and he was
I
like,
just
"These
can't
two
even
need
explain.
a show."
That is so nice.
So
That
good.
makes me
So
feel
see, it
so
all
special.
happened for a reason. And all the training that we did.
Oh, I love Anthony.
Okay, well, I want to take you guys skiing while we're still up in
Oh
the.
my God.
Yeah.
I want to go skiing so bad. I
Me
love
too.
skiing. And I haven't skied in so long. And, Real Housewives came out with a new franchise, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Oh my God, it's
and,
crazy.
They go skiing in it, obviously. And I'm just like, I got to get it back out there on the slopes. I got to get back out there on the slopes with Meredith and Jen and
Can
Heather
we?
and the
We
gang.
should just start a Housewives of the Poconos, and
Oh, that'd be a very different group of
That's
women.
a different.
For sure.
Yeah, that is.
But
there would be some
we're
guns
a group
involved.
worthy of being
Yeah.
televised,
I mean,
nonetheless.
they're like, it's my assault rifle, Maul. Yeah. Yeah.
That was my gun.
Yeah.
Did
we
you
get a
still-
lot of
yeah,
that.
it's a lot
Even though
of-
they air much.
It's yeah. lot
Be like,
of
well, a
issues.
couple of them are
You
jail
knew
because
it
of
was
the.
deer hunting season, and yet you planned my birthday party that week.
Right. How dare you? You let me sleep in for the insurrection. How dare you?
Well, Poconos is not. Now you're just.
I
this is
can't
just
do
people in this
voice.
country.
Yeah, I know. As an unfair voice
In
to
no
paint a
way are
broad
we
stroke.
insinuating that the people of the Poconos all supported the insurrection.
Not all, but
They-
some.
I
I'm
would
definitely
say a
saying
good
some.
92 to 98%.
It's got that vibe here, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, man, I've done countless shows in the Poconos in the greater Pennsylvania area. There were quite a bit. I almost recognized people when I saw the news. I remember him from
He called
Allentown.
me a libtard.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Seventh row.
That's Splotchy Mike.
Yeah, we'll make it a big day. Us going out. It'll be our first day of filming.
We better do that soon.
I'm serious. I know because
it's
then
getting warmer.
it rained
Right?
also, and then it got really icy. So we need to
Yeah,
wait
but
till
this-
it snows again. Once.
You guys used to do this whenever I go. I love skiing. I'm a big ski guy. Most
Mhm.
people don't think. Most people look at me and go, "There's a renegade snowboarder." I'm actually more of a ski guy. But I would always. Do you guys sing? I love singing a song when I go down the mountain. Do you guys do that?
You know, I hadn't done that in the
I
past.
don't usually.
Long time. I'm open to it. Well, the great thing about wearing a mask during the pandemic is now, like when we go for walks separately, I think we're both. Maybe
Yeah.
you're talking to yourself. I
I
am
am.
belting.
Yeah.
Belting them, especially spending time in Cincinnati in a suburb where there's not like in New York, there's always going to be somebody in your way. And so you can't really like sing it, you know, but in Cincinnati, I mean, once in a while I'll turn the corner and someone's there and I'm like, oh my God, they heard me singing Valerie. But you know, a lot of the time there's not somebody there.
I sing a lot in my house, but my neighbors are very much into just coming over, and so if I have to keep it quiet, they love coming over.
The
and
audience,
hanging out.
I made a face.
I know.
I made a very
I know.
because I can't think of anything more invasive.
I love my neighbors so much. They're so funny. They're just
So
like.
what brought you to Pennsylvania? You were like, I want to rent a house.
I
Let
wanted
me
to
do-
rent a house
don't
because I
wanna-
lost my
you just
house.
wanted-
Remember, I was buying the house before.
That's
and
crazy. So what
Yes.
happened? I'm sure your audience has heard
Hurricane
this
They've
Sandy,
heard
right?
the Hurricane Sandy.
Value went down after 9/11 and you lost your deposit.
I was buying it. I was supposed to close March 5th. It was pushed a little bit because of I was getting a kind of a complicated loan, and because it was a gutted house that there was no CO, certificate of occupancy, and so it was pushed, and then it was pushed to like the 16th, 17th ish, which I don't know if you guys know the dates of March, but that is when everything was
that's
shut
like
down.
when everything started shutting down.
And then
Mm.
they
but
shut it
did you
down.
lose your deposit?
I did, yes. I lost.
Why? How could they do that?
Because it extended over the amount of time that they gave me to close anyway. So
Ugh, even in the circumstances.
yeah.
That's
Even
fucked up.
I know it was. I
I think you can sue them. I don't know if you want to deal with that litigiously, but I think you can.
I
Well,
tried.
you can get Joe Girardi to represent you.
Joe
What's his name?
Girardi.
That's not Joe Girardi, right? Joe Girardi's
But
a
then he's
baseball
just
player.
gonna
I mean, I
take
know
all
that.
the
And then
money.
he's just going to take our settlement money. Settlement money, Tom Girardi.
Tom Girardi.
So we're
Circle
gonna have to
them.
have
Good
you
callback.
back anyway
you.
because when you have your new show out, we always have the host on every show on the network. So
So like it's happening for real?
Yes,
It's-
it's
Okay,
happening.
because you're saying it on air,
Absolutely.
so now
Yes.
everybody knows and you're going to have to be held accountable.
I know. So make
Crown
sure
jewels, yeah.
first, let's
I'm
have
figuring it out.
everyone follow you guys on social media so that they can keep up with the updates on when this is all going to launch and such.
I guess I'll start
And they could
posting
also go
more.
to Be Frank Network, at Be Frank Network on Instagram. But where can they find you to keep up with these updates and things?
I am at the Julia Solomon. That's Solomon with all O's. That's my handle for Instagram and Twitter. And in my Instagram, you'll find a link where you can sign up for my newsletter, which it doesn't have like an official title, but as of right now, it's just like Julia Solomon, the newsletter. And you can also go to is it Julia Solomon is funny.com? It's been so long
I'll look
since
it
I've
up.
promoted myself.
You just keep talking. I'll look up all your stuff.
What's my website? I think it's
I don't know your
Julia
website.
I think we could just go to your.
Solomon.
I think everybody just follows me on
Just
Instagram.
go to my Instagram,
Yeah.
and if the account is the link isn't working, which happens sometimes, just DM me.
Her newsletter is filled with a lot of great information, so make sure to sign up for the newsletter. It's
Yeah,
great.
I gotta send some issues out. Maybe
know.
we'll do a collab.
I
Ooh,
feel like most people
I
you
almost
just
called you because I had a zit inside of my nose, and I was like, "What do I do?"
That's hard.
Yeah,
those are so annoying.
so annoying.
They're-
Every time I get
oh,
a cold,
God.
it happens.
Yeah.
Devito,
Me
where
too.
can we find you?
Man, I'll give you my email address.
Nobody wants
kinda-
your email. Stop it.
Why? That's you can get a direct line. Man. You can find me on Instagram at Devo4Tivo, which is also my email address at gmail.com, if you're wondering. And then on Twitter, I'm at Anthony DeVito _ and check out my podcast with Brendan Eyre and
Oh.
Greg Stone, the Rad Dudecast.
Yes.
And my website is
There you
thejuliasolomon.com. Again, so that's Solomon with all those. I recommend going on your computer because I'm having issues with the mobile version. Laptops or your desktops.
Okay, we'll get you some help on that. Okay.
Yeah. Hook me up with your tech people. Oh God. I've been doing nothing but taking edibles the pandemic. So
I cannot
everything's
wait
all
until
fuzzy.
your podcast comes out. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so fun. Thank you again for coming back on, and we'll make sure that it's not such a long time in between.
Thank you for having us.
Oh
It's
my
so
God,
fun.
it was so fun. Yeah, if you guys want to go back and forth to the city, if you need to city time, I'm in the city once a week, and
We'll let you know because Anthony's going to be going a couple times.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you know more.
well, we still got our fresh antibodies. We'll still be masking everybody, but we've got
Thank
it.
you guys so much. I'm glad that you guys got
For
to say
sure.
hello.
For
When are we
sure.
going to have like our podcast meeting? Well, I'll text you.
Yeah, text me. Yeah.
Okay, because Marshall wants to talk to us.
I
See you,
know.
Brendan.
Love you, Mara.
All right, love you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.